Hello, everyone. The marriage counselor is back.
Hey!
Introduce yourself again because there may be new people watching us. This is my husband.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Flo Chinyere's channel. My name is Amechi, my husband. We did a couple tag some few weeks ago. So in the tag, I was just trying to carry my brothers in the abroad along. So I asked some of them to, feel free to ask me some questions as a way of our getting to know each other and interacting. So we were surprised by the barrage of response we got and the questions, lovely questions,
Loaded questions.
loaded people were asking. So I said, okay, at least let us do this one and give our own guide or direction. We've been married for 17 years, so I'm counting. And many people are telling, oh, wow, 17 years, it looks surprising, but we're just trying to, give you guys the tips
Or share
and,
our experience.
and experiences we've used that has been working for us for these 17 years.
Anyway, before we start, on a more serious note, my husband is not a marriage counselor at all. Like he said, we're going to share our experiences. He's going to try and answer the questions based on his own experiences. Remember, marriage does not have a formula. Whatever we share today is what is working for us. If that aspect of your marriage is working, you do not need to change anything. Remember what they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But if you're having a little bit of issues in some aspects of your marriage, you can try what we will share today. Today, he's the main guy. He's the one that will be answering all the questions because all the questions are for him. He's the one that made the promise, but I'll be putting mouth. As always, I'll be putting mouth. I have the questions here, and yeah, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Are you ready to be in the hot seat? Okay. Yeah, we got very deep questions. Yeah, there are not a lot of them, but they're very deep. Yeah, so I actually like the questions. So the first one from Shamari Scott. I am an African American lady and my fiance is Nigerian. My question is, what are some of the things I can do to show him I am 100% committed to being a part of his family, not just being with him?
Well, that's a good one. At least seeing a lady that is desirous of bonding with the family of the husband to be
Yeah.
is is very, very admirable. Where we come from in the eastern part of Nigeria, Igbo, we normally have an adage that marriage, you marry the society. You don't just marry your husband. So in answer to our question, I will say just be yourself going into marriage. That's the first thing. Don't try to pretend or be another person or pretend that you're good when you're not good. Don't show be yourself. That's your pure character that the husband or your fiancé or the man saw in you and came for you. Continue to be that one. And then try and get in close contact or relationship with his family, especially his mom, his siblings, his brothers and sisters, or dad, if they are still alive, or relations. Because in the final analysis, it's not only him you're marrying as well, all of these people. For me, the practical ways will be trying to communicate with the family of the guy
What by phone calls?
by phone calls. If possible, try and visit. Maybe once in a while, you take a vacation with him you go to Nigeria to meet the family. And while they are try and interact with them, if he has a sibling in the States there, you can try and visit them or they invite them to your house.
Or not just on yourself, like ordinary asking about them. Like, oh, how is this person? How is this person getting along with this
Exactly.
business? Like asking
Exactly.
your husband.
Yeah, just
Yeah, will show that you. I mean, it's one thing to have them in mind; it's another to show it, to voice it out. So,
exactly.
if there's any one of them that you know that is doing
Sick
or yeah, or
yeah.
ill or doing a particular business, you can say, hey, how is this so and so doing in his or her business or something like that? How are these children? What class is this person's children in? Are they already in secondary school? Like such tiny questions, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah,
It goes a long way.
I believe when it comes to this one, it's pretty much the same. We don't need you to start doing acrobatics. Nobody needs
No,
you to
no, no.
start doing
Just like I
acrobatics.
said, be
Actually,
yourself.
there's a video I made about your relationship with your family. I think I touched on that a little bit. I'll link that video in the description box below so that you can go and watch it. I think that's a 30-minute video, something like very long video where I touched on this relationship with the family. Yeah. I'm not saying throw yourself on people that do not want you. I do not support that. At the beginning, meet them without any prejudice. And, like my husband said,
Just
meet them naturally, like
yeah,
be yourself.
exactly.
And if they don't want, you have tried. Don't go and continue to force yourself on people that do not want you.
No, I
That
believe
is
in
not
most
the point.
cases they will want. If you're natural, if you treat them the way you would have treated your
Yeah,
own
they
family,
want,
don't just.
but we still
There's,
have the outlier of
I know,
families
I
that
know. There
when you
are
want, they don't
extreme
want. Yeah.
cases, but in general,
Chizaba Monekes asks, you have been married for 17 years now. What can you say that has kept the marriage going?
oh.
Now, wow. Now, wow.
Well, I would say the major thing that has kept our marriage going for me is understanding, partnership, trust, love. But that understanding encompasses many things because when you understand the person you're marrying, then understand his or her likes and dislikes. Understand how he or she wants you to treat him in a very neutral and respectful manner. I think the ground for longevity in that marriage has been already watered. Most often I hear people say love, love, love. I say,
What is love?
I normally say me. I believe in love, but at least their textbook definition of love. It doesn't work.
Facebook definition.
It doesn't work in marriage. What works more of marriage is mutual respect and trust, understanding. Have respect for one another mutually. The man should respect the woman should respect the
So,
man.
what is the one thing? Okay, what? I know that it's difficult to put your finger on it, but what can you say? One thing.
That's the thing. There's no one thing I would say. This has been it. That's what I
It's
said.
difficult to say that.
Understanding. I've understood my wife, and we are partnering very well. So anything we do, just understand the person you're married to.
We're open-minded. I don't know.
Be
It's
open.
it's very deep. Chineye, it's much. Chizoba, sorry.
Have
It's
trust.
much deeper
When
than
your
this.
husband don't tells you this is how it is, believe and be sure that is how it is. Not when you're telling your wife this is white, whereas it's black.
Black,
When she
yeah.
finds out that you're lying or you're deceiving her, there'll be problem. But when she knows that what you tell her is the truth, at least you've got his or her back covered. That's the root.
For me, I would say that this marriage, what has kept this marriage going is that we came into this marriage with an open mind. I know that some people had a little bit of prejudice about women.
Both.
I know. Did I have any prejudice about men?
No,
I know
well,
that. So anyway, you finished saying your own. Let me put my own mouth. I know that some people had a little bit of prejudice about women, when we met. But I quickly destroyed all that prejudice. So I would say that one thing that has kept this marriage going, because I know that we have kind of met each other in the middle where it comes to prejudice. Enter a marriage without prejudice. You know how they say on social media now, especially, you hear that men do this, women do this, women are wicked, men are this, men are that, men are manipulative, men are devils, women are scum, all of those things. When you meet someone, when you're like at the initial stage of meeting the person, watch out for all these so-called red flags. I say so-called because sometimes you can't put a finger on it. It's not so glaring. For instance, somebody that will be abusive, at the beginning, the person will not come and be beating you. No, but probably from the way you see the person treating another person, you will know that this person has abusive tendencies, something like that. So
Yeah.
watch out for the red flags. As long as you've cleared everything about the red flags and then you go ahead and say, I think this is the person for me, I will go ahead with the marriage. Enter the marriage with an open mind, without any prejudice. Like, open a clean slate for your partner, for your spouse. That is what I believe that has kept this marriage going. Once you do that, like, give the other person the benefit of that. Yes, we know women are this and that, men are this and that, but no, wipe that slate clean until that person gives you a
Proves
reason
otherwise.
to put something in red pen on that slate. That is, for me, what I believe is the foundation for this marriage. Like, no prejudice whatsoever, and you'll be fine for a long time.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Third one from Isoken Iwineweka. I hope I am not murdering your names. What convinced you that I was the one? I want to hear this one. Oh, yeah?
Well, I think the
One thing, no. This is a very difficult question.
no, if I should say one thing, I would say it was a peace of mind I felt the first time I spoke with her.
Yay!
That was just the
Yeah,
that
this
was
is the first time I'm hearing
that
this
was
one. I knew
for
that you
me.
fell in love with my voice, but what was
For
it?
me,
I want to hear
that
you.
was just that was just it. There was this
So what did I say exactly?
inner peace I felt
Or is it just the sexy voice?
after
You must say it
after
today. Oh.
after listening to her, and the kind of logic, or not logic, and the kind of reasoning she was bringing to bear on the discussion we had. So that was the major thing that drew me to her.
So in
So
other words, come
before
correct. Come
we
correct.
subsequently started, talking more often.
Okay, well, let's
So
leave it there. Villette Ndubisi has 3 questions. The first one: how can one handle an insensitive partner? A partner who is amazing in all aspects, but very blind to the fact that the other is sensitive.
I don't know. I don't know the kind of insensitivity, but for me, I would say this is where communication comes in. You continue to, let the person know the area you feel that he or she is not doing very well. Try and talk over, not a question of nagging or just repetitive insult or this and that. No. This something you just call the person. The time you know he or she will be reasonable, at least it will concentrate and listen to very well to what you're telling him or her. Just tell her how you feel about how the areas you feel that he's disrespecting you or is not treating you well. I believe any reasonable person, since you say that he's amazing, it's just that he's somehow insensitive. Maybe it was, sometimes some of the little things that women will expect women to be doing for them, we may not know. Uh-huh. Because this what they say, that love language is different from every.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I touched on this in our couple tag. Go and watch that video.
Love language is different from every woman. So it's different for every woman. So maybe what he or he's expecting is not the kind of vibes you will be getting. So that's why communication comes in.
I believe this
Sit
kind of
him down,
insensitivity is
talk to him.
maybe
He will
from the way
understand.
the kind of things the person says and all that. We all receive different upbringings. So maybe if it's from what he says, the way he says it, or she, this is a lady, so I'll be using he for ease of speaking. But yeah, it's re-education. You know, both of you are from different backgrounds. If something hurts you, keep telling him this. The way you say this hurts me, and all of us, we should be mindful of the things that we say to each other or the things we do. Sometimes it's not even what you say to the person. Maybe the way you behave in public, the person keeps telling you, I don't like this way that you behave in public, like you're kind of, I'm not proud of it, or it's making me uncomfortable or something like that. And you keep saying, what's there? Leave me alone, I'm being myself or something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
All those small things. We should not, like I said in the last video, we should not slag off people's feelings, no matter how tiny we feel it is. I believe that if you claim to have any feelings for someone, you should be mindful of their mind, of their feelings, because all these things, all these kele things add up. They add up and bring very big issues in the future. So yeah, on both, for everybody, man, woman, yeah, we all need to be mindful of how we treat our significant others. Yeah. And the second question from her: how can a family plan financially when the business, in bracket, the major source of family's income, like, is jointly run by the husband and his brother? That we should know that this has been so before the marriage. So the brother, her brother-in-law,
And the
and her husband
husband
are
had
doing business together even before they got
they
married.
got
So
married.
if how can they plan financially if the business is a joint, like a partnership?
For me, I would say planning financially for a couple or a household depends entirely on your disposable income, the income you're getting. Since the business is a joint business between the husband and the husband, they will have means of maybe sharing their income. It's either the husband is being paid monthly, he earns salary every month, or maybe they are doing on percentage, or they are doing on maybe if it's contract. When we work on contract, we share the profit. So that's it. In a nutshell, you just you and your husband have to plan based on
The
the
income,
income that is available, either the salary he receives or
the share of
the
profits.
profits they share
Yeah,
after every
I don't know the
business
kind of business they do,
venture.
but every business must have a definition of salary. If not, that business will even fail. Yeah. Even the principal of officers or principal partners should have a salary. They cannot just be dipping hand into the business and taking money as they like. No. There has to be a defined salary. In fact, even in a one-man business, you should define a salary for yourself.
That's how
Yeah.
the Oyibos do now.
If not, yes, you will not know the difference between your capital and your profits. Yeah. So it should be defined if they haven't already done that. And then when he brings his own home, you will see it as his income, and then you guys will plan based on that. Yeah, like you said. So, and the third one: what are the qualities to look out for when choosing a partner? This question is always, whenever I see it, it's very, very loaded. Vital.
You know,
Villette.
we are used to the women formula now, or quality of tall, dark, and handsome man.
No, today is God-fearing man.
They are looking for the perfect finish. When age has not caught up with them. So my take will be, for me personally, what do I look out for in a partner or before choosing a partner? I just look out, number one, for a lady that is respectful, honest.
Submissive. So that respectful, are you sure it's not submissive?
No, this respectful, not necessarily submissive. Submission, you submit to your wife submit to you. Not that one, but at least somebody that is respectful, somebody that is honest, and somebody that is intelligent, somebody that is willing to bring something to the table. Not necessarily in monetary terms, but at least somebody that will offer you advice or contribute to your well-being. Because there are some ladies you just marry, they will just sit in the house, no contribution, even if it's an advice, especially when the husband is willing to be advised.
Exactly, that's a good point.
Presenting something on the
A lot
table.
of men don't want
How
their
do you
wives to
think?
put mouth, eh?
Maybe you're seeking the opinion of your wife. She will guide you. Because living in Europe here, I've come to know that women are better managers than men. It's obvious, economic-wise or finance-wise. But African and our mentality. So my own, that is just basically what I look out for in a wife.
Partner.
I'm not all this. You must be a Miss Nigeria, or you be a queen, or you be this and that. No. Those physical attributes, they are not.
Those looking for Miss Nigeria, let me tell you,
they are not necessarily the best qualities.
Single girls you see on the streets, they are not even beautiful yet. They are not even beautiful yet. When you marry them and marry them well, that their beauty will come out. I wish I can put a picture of what I look like when I got married here, and you will see that I am 30 years younger now.
Yeah, so.
Anyway,
I'm not talking of. Oh yeah, evidence of
he's marrying me well. That's why I'm looking younger.
When you're marrying your wife well, you see her looking younger. If we are going out,
you don't have a choice.
Somebody will be asking me now.
If you decide to give me trouble, you go your way. I go my way. Marriage now by force.
Not by force.
I beg you. Who is benefiting now that you're marrying me well? You know that happy wife, happy husband, no?
Yeah.
They say happy wife, happy life. If you want to live a happy life, better marry your wife well. Oh.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Are we begging you? I mean, I'm talking to men, not you. Hey, for my own, the quality I look for in a man, and trust me, my own qualities has changed over the years. You know, as you become older, you become wiser. You know that some of these nonsense things that we look for. No, it's not because of
when the person is still single.
That, like
you have a long list of qualities.
Yeah. It comes with age and experience as well. It's not just in choosing a life partner. Even in, what do you call it? Even in life experiences, as you get older, you begin to see the things that matter and the things that don't matter, and you begin to separate them. Yeah. But my own, what if I were to go back to singlehood now and say, make a list of what I'm looking for in a partner, and it will be one thing. That one thing is kindness. A human being that is kind. That kindness, I believe that is a quality that encompasses all qualities. When you're kind, that's when you will be sensitive to another person's feelings. When you're kind, that's when you will not see your wife laboring in the kitchen, pregnant, carrying another one on the back, toiling in the kitchen, and you'll be sitting down in the living room watching football, allowing your wife to collapse there. Or some stories that I've heard online where some women will say that they wake up at 4 o'clock to prepare the children for school. They will be bathing the children. They will be cooking this food, the breakfast that the children will eat. You know, in Nigeria, like people that live in Lagos, they wake up by 4 a.m. And then they will be cooking the food that the children will take to school, because in Nigeria, kids stay in school till 5 p.m. or something like that. So they have to pack cooked food as well, not just snack. And this woman will be doing everything. She's working as well. She's getting ready for work. And the man will be sleeping. So a kind person will not do that to somebody that he claims or she claims that he or she loves. A kind woman will not be making money and allow her husband to be spending alone. Anyway, that one is coming. We have that one here. To be spending alone, taking care of the family financially. So I believe that kindness is the one, what's the word? Quality. If I'm asked to put down one list, I will be watching out for kindness, the way the person treats other people, the way the person treats his family, the way the person treats kids. Where, you know, when we are together and we meet kids, the way the person treats kids, the way the person treats his or her workers or people that are under him. That kind of kindness for me is the one quality that I'll look for. Kindness makes people have empathy. Yeah, and a lot of things, They can't do certain things when they are kind, And then Ifomaduru asks, should couples share their income 50-50? We are coming into finance. We are not in flow finance. If not, how are they supposed to manage their income? This
I
is our
think
first question.
there are other questions that border on that finance. Maybe we'll take them together because
Okay, yeah. There's another person that said,
they are pretty much the same question.
please, my question is, how do you people handle finance? I mean, is it a 50-50 contribution? Okay, this person is the anonymous person. This person is anonymous.
Okay.
Is it a 50-50 contribution, or your husband caters for all the financial needs in the home? Also, do you people have a joint account? I think this one is related, but we'll take it. Oh, there's another person that asked about joint account somewhere. So, is it 50-50? Are you, who should take care of the home financially? Is it you? Is it me?
For me, I would say, this finance issue is one of the major problems that have been wrecking marriages in Nigeria
Yeah,
and even in the diaspora,
yeah.
especially concerning Africans. Because, first of all, I learned a lot while working, when I was working in my previous company. My boss, there was a day we were just going out, so he's a smoker. So he was buying cigarettes, smoking. At a point, he was telling me, I'm HR, I don't have money again to buy this cigarette. Or I think I'll curtail this smoke, that the thing is being excessive. So I was jokingly telling him, but you're the organ now, how can you say you don't have money? So he just told me, opened me to the fact that his wife was the person controlling their finance. This is a Spanish man. So he was telling me that every month they have a joint account. Every month the salary will just go there. So the wife will just, maybe for instance, he's earning 1,000 euros. Out of that 1,000, his wife will just give him 200. That's what they decided. And she too will take maybe like 250 or 300. Women, their needs are more than men. So this is 200 for his own personal needs. That from there he takes money to smoke and cafe and beer whenever he wants to be. But this 800 is for the family account. The woman is in control of that one. So they buy anything, they do anything jointly. So after telling me that, that thing, he was
Excuse
just...
me, one question. Was the wife working at that time?
The wife was working. Both of them were working.
Okay.
So, after that one, he just, that thing just opened my mind. Because coming from Nigeria, that was when I just came newly to Spain. After about 2 or 3 years of coming to Spain. Because in Nigeria, we have this mentality of, how can my wife know how much I earn? How can my wife see my money? This and that. She will kill me and carry all the money and run away. She will do this, so she will do. But after saying that, I say no. So when my wife came, even my wife was the one suggesting initially that we should have a joint account.
Yeah.
I was somehow in the defensive.
Yeah.
Even though she was earning very huge amount then. I was defensive because I say, woman, this one, she will now be looking at, how much did you spend? Did you buy this one? So, but I recollected what I transpired between me and that my boss. I said, no, we carried on. So, to answer your question, now we have a joint account with my wife. We have a single account. All her money goes into there. All my money goes into there. Both of us, she has her card. I have my own card to the account. If you want to go shopping on weekends, we just drive, all the family. We go, we buy, she pay with her card, I pay with mine.
Depending on who is free at that time.
Who
He
is
may
free.
be packing the groceries
We
and I'll
want
pay.
to do anything, we do it. Because the money is ours. I don't see, she cannot say, this is my money. Or I will say, this is my money. No, everything is our own. We are building a house now, it is our house. Even if she goes about now telling people, my husband's house, I will feel offended. I'll say, how can you call your house your husband's house?
But I don't do it now.
No, yeah. So you don't see yourself as part of this family. Because there was a time I was reading one article. I know one comment some people were saying. So one woman was saying that she will not contribute to the house her husband was building or is building. I say, what? Are these people really couples? Are these people really married? How can you say the house you live in, you will not contribute? And some were saying, okay, after that, the man will just divorce you and leave you. And like my wife said initially, don't enter marriage with this mindset or mentality of seeing the worst or this antagonistic attitude that you're going for confrontation. You say you're in love, that's why you're married. Or you see your Even without the Bible injunction of two becoming one, marriage is supposed to be a partnership of two people. Partnership of two people. How we do this thing here is anything involving finance, we do it jointly. If she wants to send money to her people now, I'll be even my wife is the one that will be advising me. You've not given your mother money. Because my mom, I'll say maybe sometime she doesn't need money.
Doesn't need
After all, I have brothers that give her giving her money.
That's what she was saying. Like
my wife will say, no, how can you say
family,
that? So
he doesn't like give, even when he comes out, he even he'll be giving people money, and I'll be like, have you given your mother money? He said, no, wait, I'll give her. But he will spend all day. You know how you come back to Nigeria now.
Give cousins, give friends.
Money will not remain for you. He will sometimes take some money say, Mama, give me money. Let me
borrow from her
borrow
to go
from
back.
her. I was like, no way. Even if you're going to borrow money from her later, you need to give her her own and say, this is what I brought for you. Even buy her gifts and all that. So to answer the question from my own back, we don't do 50-50, 20-80, 30-70. We don't do it in this house because I don't know where my money starts and where my money ends, or where his money starts and where his money ends in our account. We have only one account. Like I said at the beginning, this thing may not work for your family. If having separate accounts and then having your own joint accounts, it works for you. Like having a joint account and then each of you having your separate account works for you, continue doing that.
Yeah.
If not having a joint account at all works for you, continue doing that. Do you know why he told you that I'm the one that suggested joint account? Okay, when I first moved here and I wanted to open an account, he already had an account then, of course, and I told him, we need to open an account, a joint account. He said, no, why don't you open your own? I said, no, we need to open a joint account. I don't want to have my own account because for those of you that know the kind of job that I do now, I don't even travel as much. In those days, I used to travel at least 4 times in a year. This is just going to work, And some years, depending on if my schedule started very early in the year, like first week of January, I would travel 5 times in a year. And this is just going for work. And in those days, I was working in the US a lot. So I was traveling long distances. And I was entering helicopters, working in a very treacherous environment. When you add going for courses as well or going for meetings, I was always in the air. So whenever I'm leaving this house, I'm always telling him, this is where my password is. This is what you do. If anything happens to me, this is what I will be doing. Ikebe, if you're Igbo, Ikebe, like writing my will, whatever. And he'll be telling me, stop saying that. I say anyway, I'll force it on him. These are all my passwords to everything that I own. This is this. If I change anyone before, I say this is all this. Because I don't believe in whoever I agree to marry. I don't believe that the person will kill me to take my money. Even if the person kills me, I'd rather the money goes to the person than the money goes to the bank, because the protocol of getting all these things from the bank and all that is too much. So for me, I say, this is where this is, this is where this is, in case anything happens. This is my attitude to life. Because I always say on this channel, and people will be laughing, we are marking time here. Nobody owns anything to your life. All these things that we are struggling for, we are using it to mark time. All this is my own, this is my own. You don't live a good quality life because you're hiding to send money, hiding to this. It's too stressful for me. I don't have that kind of time. It works for me. It gives me peace of mind because I believe all these things, money is money. Money is a spirit, like I always say. Why would money cost ordinary money? I call it ordinary money. Money is important too, but money cannot come and cause trouble with me and somebody. If the worst happens, for instance, some women will say some men are not responsible. What if I do a joint account with him? He takes the money from there. If you notice that he's that careless about money, or he withdraws all your money, all I need to do is to call my employer, and by the end of that month, they will pay. I would go and open my own account. That is what I talked about, giving somebody benefit of doubt. Let them do it first. You hold them first before you act. Don't start unnecessary ikemkucha at the beginning when the person has not done anything. So that's my own. If you do it, if you try that with me, I believe, ask him, my attitude to money is just like that. Money cannot come and kill me. So if the person tries it, what I'll do is to go how long does it take to open an account? Opening an account in Nigeria is very easy, not to talk of here. You go with your papers, you go and open an account. You send an email to your employer, I've changed my account. This is where you will be paying my money. Within one day, you've changed your account. That's it. But at least you have something, you have evidence that you are irresponsible with money. You want to kill me here with you're stealing my money.
No, that's a very valid reason. So, in as much as we are proposing or proponents of this joint account, like she said, if your partner is irresponsible, because this irresponsibility is on both ways. There are men that are maybe humanized as drunkards or gamblers. They will be all these bet Nigerian pool, wasting,
Exactly.
alcoholics. There are also women that are spendthrift. They like to buy shopaholics. They like to go anywhere and spend money. Buy a wig, 200,000, buy this one without minding the income of the family. So if you notice that your partner is very, very extravagant, in that case, it's not advisable, because why go and put your resources
Where
into
it will be wasted.
in a pool where it will be squandered or wasted prodigally. So it's better you curtail it by maybe opening your own account, or maybe both can have a joint. You'll be contributing
to one account.
maybe in some payments.
Some people, that one works for them.
If it's working
Because
for
me,
you.
I cannot come and these people that do 50-50, how do you do it? Is it when rent or mortgage comes, you divide it into two? This person will pay, this person will pay. When school fees come, you divide.
That's
like
what
you
they
keep
do.
dividing every.
That's what but
if the person, one person is earning 500,
And you know,
the other person is earning 1,000. Do you bring 50?
a salaried man,
I cannot
you
go
can
there.
always determine the income of a salaried person. But some of these business person,
You don't really know.
you
their
don't really
income.
know how they
So how
much
do
they
you do
earn.
the 50-50?
So somehow problematic.
For me, it's stressful. That is why I will not sit down and be calculating. If that one is working for you, let's continue doing it. But for me, I find it, when I imagine it, please, can you tell us in the comments, those that are doing contribution, like you have different accounts, you do contribution. How do you do it? Do you sit down and tear every bill into two? Or food, for instance, food. When you buy groceries, or one person will be buying groceries, the other person will be paying school fees. Like, do you? I've always wondered how it's done.
Some do say that maybe the men will take the bigger part. Yeah,
if the man is earning more, no?
Exactly.
Because there are a lot of women that are earning more.
Like house rent, school fees.
Anyway,
Why the wife may be buying groceries for this thing, but when you're pulling your resources together, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, guys, this video is becoming too long, so I decided to end it here. There are more juicy questions coming up in another video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and share it with your friends and family you feel will benefit from our marriage experiences. Please share what works for you with us in the comment section below. Bye bye. See you in part 2.